Hi everyone, welcome to Parent Hour. This presentation will be on registering for the spring, academic progress, as well as billing. So just some introductions. The group that we have here tonight, Julie Spring, she is the Assistant Director for the Center of Student Success. Judy Ledoux, the Bursar. Cassandra Eckelman, I'm sorry, Assistant Director for Student Financial Aid. Myself, I am James Marino, Student Government Association President, as well as Sue Fitzgerald, the Associate Dean of Student Engagement and Inclusion. So we will start with Julie and how to register for spring 2020. Go ahead.
Excellent. Thank you, James. So the registration period for spring 2020 is actually upon us. Advanced registration began on November 1st, and those dates go through the month of November for the most part. So prior to registration, we reviewed things with students. One of the things we like to review is making sure that they have assessed the holds that would be on their account, if any, and they can do that by going to their self-service account. Some common holds are things like cashier's holds, immunization holds, things like that. But again, those are all laid out for them on that self-service, or they can always come to the Center for Student Success if they are concerned and need an explanation regarding that. So all students have now received a registration date, and that comes to them via their UHart email and/or text, depending on how they have things laid out. And just so everyone knows, when a student gets a date, they are actually able to register as of 12:01 on that date. So meaning if my date were tomorrow on November 6th, I can stay up till midnight tonight, and at 12:01, I can get myself registered. So based on that registration date, we ask students to make sure that they're setting up an appointment with their advisor. So this lists as first-year advisors, but that would be the case for anyone. The advisor needs to give a student their PIN in order to get registered. So they want to make sure that they have that appointment. And then as we noted, especially for first-year students, some of the professional advisors in the Center for Student Success are doing one-on-one advising. Some are doing a little bit of group advising, sort of depending on their population. But that is something that students can, again, certainly ask directly of their own advisor. And then the actual registration process is completed by the student on their self-service account. So again, they hopefully have all of their access to be sure that they can get onto that account. If they are a first-year student this year, that has all been reviewed in their US 190 course with their first-year advisor, so we can make sure that they are all ready to go. We've also taught them how to begin going to class search and making sure that they are ready to see the courses that they need. So when they have that appointment or their group advising, they get the list of courses they need to take. And then we work with them to teach them how to go in and search and actually find the particular sections that they need in order to make their schedule. We strongly recommend that students make ideal schedules because that's always wonderful. But the reality is they want to have a backup schedule as well in case a particular section of a class is closed and they need to have an alternate section to fill in. And then just as a little note too, when they're getting ready to make those schedules, they want to be sure they have all of their CRNs, which is their course reference number, because that's going to be what they actually enter on their self-service screen. And then one of the first steps of that registration process is them going to that enrollment agreement. So that is something that they would have to complete every semester. And the next slide will show you a little bit more about that. What they're doing with this enrollment terms and conditions is they're accepting it, like I said, each term, and they're prompted. So as they go into the registration screen, before they can do anything in terms of entering their PIN or selecting their courses, they'll be prompted to sign this condition. It's informing the student of all of their obligations and services that exist once they register, and it is also the authorization that will deliver that 1098-T tax statement. So again, we need to make sure that that is completed prior to them moving forward with the registration. And then, of course, if any of this is a concern, they can always refer back to their advisor, or of course, always to the Center for Student Success as well. So this slide gives you a little bit of information about the Center for Student Success. We're very proud and excited because it is brand new. We've only been open for a few weeks, and it's a beautiful building. So if you ever happen to be on campus, please come stop in and say hello. But you'll also see our hours there. We are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And we've listed our email and phone number for everyone as well. And also students have access to go through a platform that we have called Compass, and they are able to make appointments to come in and see people who are within the center at any point in time that we have availability in those hours. And then one thing that we should have also noted, and I apologize that we did not, we are open until 6 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for this fall semester, and those late hours may shift semester to semester depending on students' needs, but we will definitely have 2 evenings where we're open until 6 each semester.
All right, so now over to financial aid. So if families are still concerned about how to pay the bill or want to switch up their way of paying for the spring semester, we definitely want families or even the students to stop over so that we can talk about the different options. So just as in the fall semester, there's going to be another payment plan available for the spring, which Judy will go over a little more in detail during the billing section. But also financially, we can talk about additional loan options, so the Parent Plus loan or private loans, as well as starting to help students think about outside scholarships for next year because they're going to start opening up around January. So we would definitely want students to be focused on that right now. But one thing that may still be keeping students from being able to register in one of their holds would be missing financial aid documents. So the biggest one is verification. Now, not all students are selected, but that is something that you would find out during the FAFSA from the student aid report. So if the student logs on to their self-service and they see that they're missing tax documents or information, we would strongly suggest them reaching out to us so we can go over what they need so that we can get that processed sooner rather than later. We may also have to request other documents. So we do advise students to be checking that self-service, even though we do send out weekly emails to their Hartford email address. And then one other thing we want to know as we go into the spring semester is satisfactory academic progress. So this is required to renew financial aid from year to year. It's a measure of the GPA and the successful completion of credits. So typically it's between 1.8 and 2.0 and anywhere between 24 to 28 credits. But it is based on the program or major, so you would definitely want to speak to the specific college that your student is in. An unofficial review is done at the end of fall, so you may get a letter in the mail saying that the student isn't on track to meet satisfactory academic progress. So if the student is concerned, we would recommend they reach out to their advisor just to make sure they're doing what they need in the spring. Now, at the end of spring, that's when we officially review it, and it can impact financial aid if they're not making satisfactory academic progress. So again, if the student is worried, please reach out to your academic advisor to get more information. And this is just our page on where you can visit us. So we're located over in the Bates House, the only white colonial with red shutters on campus, so you can't miss us. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, and we take walk-ins. And our email is listed as well as our main line. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
So on to billing. The University of Hartford partners with CASHNet to deliver electronic billing statements to our students. CASHNet also provides the student with 24/7 real-time access to their student financial account. If needed, the student does have the ability to print and or email a copy of their statement. We started billing the fall term in July, and we continue to bill on a monthly basis for all unpaid balances as well as any new charges. If not done so already, the student can set you up as an authorized payer, providing you with access to their financial account. Authorized payers have the 24/7 access as well as receive e-billing notifications via their email account when the bill is available to view. There are instructions on the Bursar website at hartford.edu/Bursar. You click on billing and then scroll down and click on Instructions to set up authorized payers. We also have an option for a guest payer to make a one-time payment without having access to the student's financial information. So if you have a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle who would like to make that one-time payment, this is the way that they can do that. And there are instructions on the Bursar's website as well. The guest payer will need to know the student ID and name. If you have not seen it yet, this is a copy of the CASHNet dashboard. Looking at a couple of the boxes, the Your Account box provides you with current financial information. It also provides you with a link to make a payment or another link at the bottom to view details of the account for all charges posted since the last billing statement. The box labeled Your Bills is where you can view a PDF of all billing statements. The billing statement is a snapshot at one point in time, which is the statement date. The last box I would like to highlight is the installment payment plans box. The university offers a way to make monthly installments through the CASHNet FSPP payment plan for the fall and spring terms. There is a $40 enrollment fee for each term with no additional monthly charges as long as your payments remain current. You can use this plan along with other means such as financial aid, including loans, 529 plans, etc., to pay the balance due. The number of installments can be 5, 4, or 3 based on when you enroll in the plan. Available plans will show in this box, and the student or authorized payer can click on the link to enroll in an available plan. This is also where the installment payments will be made. Fall 2019 charges are no longer eligible for CASHNet FSPP. However, a spring term plan is available and you have until November 30th to participate in the 5-pay plan option. You can estimate your payment based on the fall term. Once you receive the spring bill on or about December 4th, there will be time for you to increase or decrease the plan if needed. If you have any questions about this plan, please contact CASHNet or the Center for Student Success. The student or authorized payer will enroll in this plan through the CASHNet dashboard. The dashboard only allows for one plan. Therefore, if there is a need for 2 plans, each term, one of the bill payers will need to contact the Bursar's office to set up a second plan. This is a sample of our billing statement for those of you who may not have seen one. It lists new charges, pending financial aid, and credits or payments received since the last statement. This statement also provides you with the amount due and the due date. The amount due may be less than the current balance if there is pending financial aid. You only need to pay the amount due. If the amount due is not paid by the due date reflected on the bill, a 1.5% default charge is assessed on the unpaid balance. We also start to restrict the release of transcripts, diplomas, and possible future term registrations. Your student would have been notified if they have a hold restricting registration. If they are not sure, they can contact CSS. If they have a past due balance, the student or you, if the student provided us with the consent to speak to you about their financial account, can call or visit CSS or the Bursar's office. The Bursar's office is located on the 2nd floor of the administration building and is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. There is no appointment necessary and walk-ins are always welcome.
All right, so we will open it up for some questions. So there are the email addresses. I also put them in the chat box, but the Center for Student Success, the email is css@hartford.edu. The Financial Aid Office, finaid@hartford.edu. And the Bursar's office, their email is bursar@hartford.edu. right, thank you very much, everyone, for logging in today. And again, if you have any questions, those emails are there for you. And then the phone numbers are also on the slides. And if you're interested in getting the slides, please email Nicklin@hartford.edu, and I'll put that in the box as well.